Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to our weekly outlook, and glad to see so much of you here. Not as much as we normally get, but it's a Friday afternoon. It's holiday in a lot of countries, so still we have over 100 people, so that's good. Let's go. Dollar index. I always start with the dollar index because I want to show you what we think is going to happen in the bigger picture in the dollar index, which direction dollar should go. And we're actually right in the middle here. So I think for next week, we may not have a lot of big moves. We will have a lot of consolidation. You see, every time they make a move, they pull back and then go, right? They make a move, they pull back and then go. So we made a move. We were expecting this pullback, and then we can expect to go there. We're still in an uptrend, but this sell would be a good one, which means we'll be looking for buys, right? And the majors. If dollar gets weak, everything else gets strong, right? So let's go and look at the euro. Euro is in this triangular looking pattern. If you put it in the daily, it's in some kind of a triangular looking pattern here. We can't say for sure it's a triangle. You don't know it's a triangle until it breaks out of the triangle, right? That's a rule. So, but we definitely know that if dollar is going to go back up in correction, euro is going to come down, right? We expect the dollar to make a corrective move up and then down. So euro should come finish this move here. And this down move on the dollar is what should give us this move here in the euro to the upside, right? So we would look for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave pattern to end here and then the downside. If this is a triangle, right? We will only see that. But definitely next week we can expect downside in euro, right? Because dollar index definitely has to make some correction. It just wouldn't go without any correction. They will make some kind of a correction in there. Pound. Pound, we are expecting, if it makes a small correction to the downside, I think pound could go one more down. Remember, if you were following me for a long while, I've been saying to everybody, watch this pound here to go back up, right? I actually post those 4 pound trades, remember, to the upside. And that is what they did, right? This was it, right? Corrective structures, watch them to go up, right? We're anticipating that up move. See, works like a charm every time. It's just the way structure behaves. What we do is not magic. You just have to understand, and I think people think by putting a line like this, and I see people do that, put a line like this, and then put a line like this, and think, well, that's the game. You put a line like this, and you watch for the breakout. That's not so. Hindsight, that's so. But in real life, your line would have been like this, your line would have been like this, your line would have been like that. So it's not about the lines. It's about what pattern are we looking for. The reason we knew that was going to go up is because we are looking for a complete pattern. And I said, this is your first wave up. That's your first impulse. Everybody remember what the rule is. You get an impulse, you're going to get a mess, and then you're going to get another impulse up. Right? Pretty simple. This is the difficult part. The impulse and the impulse are not difficult part. Right? So out of those 4 charts, I hope some of you got some good trades, because I am still in the Aussie pound. I'm not in this one. I'm in the Aussie pound because I was in the Aussie pound before I even post this chart. Right? So I stick to the Aussie pound, and it turned out wonderful. So this one, if you got it, you did well. What is it going to do now? We already broke this top. So what I'm looking for in the bigger picture is some more upside. Right? We're looking for this to make some more upside, and then the downside. So there's a possibility that even if they're going to make some more up, they will probably come down and then go back up, right? You can see something like this in the making. So at this point, we're pounding. I think short-term downside is possible. You can already see this small structure we're looking at here. Short-term downside is possible, which means you can come down here. Maybe next week we will see some downside here, and then you're going to see another impulse to the upside. So next week, I don't think we'll have a lot of interesting thing on the pound. We'll probably see some downside, and then we'll see the next move up. So if we're lucky, we get the next move by the end of the week, and that will make a good trade. Shorting it to the downside, you can do that. right? But you have to be very skilled, and it's very short term, which means you get in the trade, get out, get in, get out every time. It's not scalping because you're going to get 50 to 100 pips every time. But, you know, you have to be good at making sure you can handle the trade. Aussie, I think, will continue to go up, and there is definitely nothing new on the Aussie since we saw it the last time. We posted this chart way back, and we were looking for this pattern. I don't know, from somewhere in here or something like that, where we're looking for an ending diagonal here. That chart is so old that I don't think anybody remembers it, right? It's a very old chart. We're looking, it has to be, I think it was on the 4 hour or on the daily it was posted. Maybe, yeah, this one. This is the structure we're probably looking for, if I remember clearly. Yeah, that structure, right? And it's actually working very good so far. We didn't expect to get much trade in there, and I'm not even trying to trade it right now because I'm not interested in the move to the upside. It is pretty small, and it will crawl its way up slowly to the top. This is the trade I'll be looking for. Hopefully that happens next week. And if this happens next week, we should all be in that trade. There's a nice trade coming up there, right? You can see we want them to first break that top, and they're crawling up to go break the top. And if they break the top and we see a setup, a trade setup for a sell, we're definitely in that because that is coming to retest this low. All in all, it is doing what the pound just did. Remember what I said the pound will do? You have an impulse, you're making a correction, and you're going to get another impulse. Right? It's that simple. Right? Everybody keep all your questions to the end, and you can write them down so you don't forget, and afterwards we'll come back to them, right? So none of you want to miss this trade, guys. Keep focus. Make sure you follow the post. Make sure you're getting instant, set your profile to get instant message, because I normally post these trades when they're about to happen, which is like an hour or two before they happen. Right? There's no sense posting them way back unless it's just for you to understand what the structure is going to do, right? So the setup, the trade setup will happen, and then as soon as we see it, we'll get an hour, 2 or 3 notice, and we'll post it out, and then you'll get the trade, right? New Zealand has a very, very similar structure, and we said New Zealand was going to go up. It's going up. We had this chart well set. I think this one was even much more amazing than the previous one because we were looking for this, right? You're looking for the trade to go down, and then you're looking for the trade to go up. You look for the trade to go down, and then you expect it to go up because that is how structure behaves, right? Come down, and now you're going up. So if we say that this is going to go up and it's going to go up, do you want to short it? I don't think so. What you're going to get here is a corrective structure, and it will continue. They need to break this top. So there is at least one more move to the top there next week, and then we can expect that big downside. There is a big trade to the downside coming. Pretty huge trade. Now, there are 2 ways. I actually relooked at this structure this morning, and there are 2 ways. I posted out for those who are paying attention, that there are 2 ways we can look at this. There's a possibility. You see these impulse, this is what we're looking for, one of that trade going down. But there is a chance that we're in a structure like this right now. See this here? Up move, and that up move, pull back, up move. See this up move, similarity of this up move there. That means when they break this top, we will still have a very sharp move to the downside, and then we will look for another slow move to the top, and then one more down. This trade is still a very good trade. That's still a couple hundred pips. So if we think New Zealand is Aussie is gonna come down 1, right? And then probably go back up. Euro come down 1 and then probably go back up. Pound come down not very much and then probably go back up. That is why I think when I relooked at the structure this morning, if all of those are going to behave that way, then there's a chance that this one may just come back here and then go back up. For all of this will be 1, 2, and we'll go for 3, something like this. 1, 2, and then you go for the 3. This one has 5 waves in it, but I don't think we'll see 5 here. Maybe we do, but I don't think we're going to see 5. I think we're going to see just 3 if it goes, because this one is bigger than any one of those individually. Right? So keep an eye. The trade to the downside is a very big trade. Now, for next week, the first thing we wanted is get one more buy to the upside. Short term, if you're looking for a sell, this is short term. This is only for the fun of it, I think. Not the best trade in the world, but for the fun of it. Short term, you may get some small trades here. You may pull back, get a small trade here, pull back, get, and this is what we'll be looking for the buy setup. Now, I really don't like to trade these short trades. Some people like to do it. I really don't like, because the risk to reward in them is not very good. I can be honest with you. And if you're not very good at it, you end up losing more than you win on them, which means you have to be glued to the screen to take it off where you think it's going to stop. Right? It's better to wait for the bigger impulses. The direction of the bigger impulses is much easier to trade. They go pretty fast, and their risk to reward is much more rewarding. Put it that way, you get much more risk to reward, right? Swiss, definitely, I just spoke about this before we start the webinar. I think this will just go sideways, and then we'll look for downside. We're already making that consolidation. You can see it, right? But this is too small a consolidation. We'll have to wait some more. I think we may get some more consolidation here, and then we'll get a very big move to the downside, right? So remember, if all of them is going to come down and then go back up, which means Euro, Pound, New Zealand, they will have a big move to the downside before they go back up. This one will likely spend all that time consolidating before it falls, or even give us a move to the upside before it falls. The move to the upside may be valid, maybe a good trade, maybe not, we'll see. If we get that, we'll take it. Possible one more up, deeper, and then come down, right? CAD, I think, will give us one down, that's for sure. They may go a little more up, but it's going to come back here and then go up, right? So New Zealand down, right, and then up. Aussie down and then up. And the bigger picture, this should come down and then go back up. So let's see. CAD is going to do what most of those trades will do. CAD will not be following the dollar index as it should follow the dollar index. So I will come to all the CAD trades separately to show you why I think CAD will not be following what the dollar index is doing. CAD, if the dollar gets weak, CAD gets weak, right? It's not going to get strong against the dollar, because there's going to be very, very big weakness in the dollar. We'll come to the CAD, we'll come to that, and I'll show you why that is possible, right? So if you look at this, there's a good chance this will make a nice short trade here in the yen, and then it will have to tell us what it's doing. So in terms of yen, I'm taking very short trades only in it. We thought this one would go up to the top there, but it's not going up. It's probably going to come back here first. And at this point, it could still go back up. So when it gets to this point, then we'll see what happens. There's a short trade there next week for all of us. And then we'll see where that goes. It's go back up or it breaks through the structure, right? And both of it are possible in that sense. Euro Oz, some consolidation here, probably one more move up. Not much going to happen on this next week. If I see something interesting start to happen, we're going to take the trade, but it looks like they will do this and then they'll do that, right? So this will take about a week, maybe till the week after we'll get a trade on this. Euro yen, very much similar structure, sideways. We're looking for a short. There's a nice short setup here. It could even happen today, maybe Monday, Tuesday. Put that in the 1 hour. See that? It's already breaking out, so not the breakout as yet, but when it does, there's a nice short trade coming here, right? I think you guys could see that one there and then come back here, right? So that trade may even trigger today. Maybe tomorrow it's going to be ready for, no, not tomorrow, Monday it's going to be ready to trade, right? So keep an eye on that. I don't want to go through every one of them because that will take very long, but I'm going to go through all the CAD pairs. So remember, let's look at the euro, let's look at the dollar CAD again, and we'll look at it from the daily point of view. We're in this big corrective structure, and this one could come back here, and there is a possibility for one more up, right? But eventually they're going to go down. Although they have that possibility for one more, they're going to go down. So we're looking for sell opportunity, at least from the top here coming down. EuroCAD. If you were following me in trading view very, very carefully, remember we were on this chart coming down and we said there's a sell here and then it's going to go up. Well, that turned out to be a much more complex pattern. As a matter of fact, this pattern really got us, you know, when it was going up here, we were like, what the hell is it doing there? And then it came down here. We took that sell. All of you remember that was posted. Some of you took that sell. We got out. And then we started to see this going up very fast, right? They're coming to about here. And that gives us a very clear picture of what we're looking at now. We're looking at a 1, 2, 3. This being a very complex, expanding flat, right? It's an expanding flat here. It's very complex. You can see the expansion in it, right? So with an expanding flat in the middle, there's a big trade to the downside to come. If you go into weekly and look at this chart, let me bring it to the weekly, sorry. That is the trade we are looking at, right? And that trade is going to happen. And it's going to happen sometime next week, the week after, very, very soon. That trade is coming. So there's a very big trade coming here on the CAD. And remember I said, Euro may go down, Aussie may go down, New Zealand may go down, and so would CAD, right? We will probably see CAD following these pairs and the pound going down slowly. We'll see CAD following them rather than going against them. That is a possibility. And if that happens, not only would the CAD dollar come down some, the Euro CAD will go faster to the downside. This is a much bigger move here than on the dollar CAD. And there is even a likelihood that this could break out of that structure because this structure is a complete three-wave structure. If you look at the bigger picture, they had a complete three-wave structure here. 1, 2, 3. They broke out of it. We have a complete 1, 2, 3-wave structure. We can break out of it. So this may not be the only trade you get. You may get a trade down to the bottom here. Both of those are very, very big trade to come. Now, you don't have to get in one of them and stay with it, but once you get the direction correctly, you will get a number of small trades going, right? If it starts to trend to the downside, you'll probably get about 10, 12 very, very good trade because when it trends, this is what it does. It moves like a rocket. You can stay in all of that and get out somewhere here. You can stay in all of this and get out somewhere here, right? So you can get those big moves going. Good risk to reward. I think you may remember this sell setup, some of you, right? Remember that sell setup there? Come back to the top here and then fall. That's exactly what it did, right? It went right back to the top there and then started just falling crazily down. So that is exactly what we're looking for here, a big move to the downside. That will give you about 3 or 4 very good trades in it. And all you have to do is find a flag and sell, right? We'll find them and we'll sell. So wait for this to complete. There is some more upside here. We're looking for very short-term buy, not a big buy, very short-term. Not something I like basically because, oh, sorry, I just moved it, my fault. It has a little more to go, I think, about here, this 270 target, which is there. So I think they'll probably crawl up some more and then we'll see the break, right? So we'll be looking for the sell setup on the Euro CAD, the Pound CAD, and the Euro CAD, the Dollar CAD, and now the Pound CAD. The Pound CAD has this structure. See, they're actually coming up pretty strong. We're still in a downtrend. We haven't changed that. Nothing has changed, and they're coming up very close to this here. Now, they don't have to go all the way to the trend line. Right? That's not a rule they have to. So if they make a pullback and go one more, this looks like we can get one more trade to the downside. There's a good reason why this trade is here. That one was also posted a couple months back, I think. And this one, we were looking for this, and this is a big move to the downtrend. You can see that, right? So we're looking for one more wave within this entire structure. We've got one here. We've got one here. And we're looking for one more down. All right? So look for this trade. This is very, very possible. In the bigger picture, you're looking for this to go beyond this low, breaking that low. This is the big move that you had. This was the big correction, and this is another big move going down. So they will likely break this low. One more move down should break that low, and then probably if they want to go back up, it's okay. But this is a very sharp trend coming down here. That means one big move in the pound is coming. The upside is almost finished. They took out that top. All they need to do was take this top out. They did. They're going up. They could get a little higher. I don't see why they can't. The pound may move it somewhere. But then look for the downtrend. So CAD, Euro CAD, Pound CAD. Let's look at the Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD last week, I said it's probably going to take out that top, and they're about to do that. If you look at the monthly, this is what we're expecting them to do. I think all of you can see that. This was your impulse to the downside. You got a 1, 2, 3 corrective structure. We need them to break that top, and then we need them to reverse. Right? Break that up and reverse to complete this pattern. That is 1, 2, 3. Right? See this one here? Everybody see that? You got an impulse, you get a 1, 2, 3, they broke the top. Most traders like to think that is where the resistance is, so when they break the resistance, they're going to go. Well, that is where you get problem, because when they break that top, they're actually reversing. Because that is actually completing the pattern. I think a lot of support and resistance people freaked out with this. They're looking for the break of the top, you broke resistance, time to buy. And that, it's going to hook, wait for it to break the top, come back, hook, and then go. Actually, it's on the way down when it's doing that. It's not hooking anything. It's on its way down for the next impulse. And if you think you're going to be buying here, good luck to you, because that's not what structure does. So we will wait for it. We don't have to jump into the trade. We're not picking the top. We'll wait for it to complete the top. We don't know where it will complete the top, and then we'll wait for it to turn. And when we see that turn, then is when we will start to trade it down. So it may make a deep pullback like this. I don't think they will. They will make a shallow pullback like this and then downside. So we will wait for our trade to come to us. And when it comes, you get in the trade, right? We're not saying that because we think it's going to do this, we will sell it right now, right? The forecast, we do the analysis, and the analysis tells us, okay, guys, this is the analysis. It's going to come here. That's the number one thing we do. You do your analysis. If your analysis is correct, then it will have to come there and break to the downside. When it breaks to the downside and it confirms your analysis, you have to get the number two thing. You have to get a setup to trade it. You have to have a strategy that says you look for this, 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 and then trade it. When that setup is there and our strategy says, okay, sell, we sell. That is when the number three things comes in. Money management. How much are you going to risk in that trade? How much, when you say how much I'm going to risk, you're actually saying how much am I willing to lose on that trade? Not how much am I going to win in the trade, but how much am I willing to lose? That's your risk. That's where you're going to put, right? So you said I'm going to put 1% in that account. If I lose the trade, I lose 1% in my account. Okay? That's money management. Then the fourth thing, how much you're going to win in the trade if you win? What's the risk to reward ratio? If you risk 1% here and it comes here, how much percent do you get? That is what you do. And all of them is based on the number one thing, your analysis to be correct. Right? Can you guys keep the problem, the questions? Somebody said it's not a problem for you that the current upside go more than the last wave. It has to go more than the last wave. I'm not sure what you're talking about. If you're talking about this wave here going up, this one has to go more above it. Most of the time it will go more above it. We're looking for it to go more above it. If you're looking at which current wave going more than the last wave, I'm not sure what you're talking about. That is how structure behaves. 1, 2, 3, and then you're looking for them to come down to complete this 1, 2, 3, and actually realize this is actually the impulse. Right? This is actually the big impulse. We're still in a corrective structure. This is a 1, 2, 3 corrective structure to go up, but we're not even going to look at that big one because this will take about 6 months or more, maybe, or less to go back before you get that. This is your 1, 2, 3. That is for next year. Leave that for next year. I'm going to give you the trades we may likely get next week or the week after. That is come to the top here and turn to the downside. Right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to wait for this to come to the top there. And then there's a very big trade to the downside that I showed you, right? See? So let's get this trade going down first. And then we're going to deal with the rest of them. So Aussie CAD, Euro CAD, Pound CAD, Dollar CAD, and let's go look at the New Zealand CAD to confirm that theory that is what it's going to do. So we have a New Zealand CAD here. Let's look at that. Go back to the monthly. Tell us what it's doing. New Zealand, I don't have the entire chart here, but so this one will not help you. I can't really tell you what it's doing right now. This is not enough information for me to do that. But we can go and look at the CAD Swiss. This one has a CAD in front of it, right? So if all the CAD pairs are going to go down because they have the CAD at the back of it, which direction should this one go? That's your impulse. This is your downside. This one will have to go up. See, you guys got it right. I can see that many of you are coming to my webinars regularly. This is the trade you don't want to miss. By the way, we bought it once already. Some of my traders took some profit. We were experimenting on this breakout, right? So we bought it from the bottom here, and we put a stop here. I just took it, not the buy. It wasn't a buy. It was just a trade setup for my traders. And when it came to the top here, I said, move your trades because it could either break or bounce. They did break a little and then came back in. So most of my traders got out there. They got some profit in it. Not much, very little, because we were trying to see whether this was going to go. It didn't. So then they make a bigger structure. The structure becomes something like this: 1, 2, 3. We said, okay, this one is going to go. So we'll wait for the turn of this again. We'll wait for this to turn, maybe at the 618. We don't buy the 618 because we think it's going to turn there. That's crazy to do. If you think it's going to turn here and you put an entry order here to buy, here's what will happen to you. You will have to do two things. You will have to put a stop here, which by itself is a crazy stop, or you'll have to put a stop here. And then it's going to do this. Take your stop out, go back up. Right? And then you decide, and then it may even come back down, and you said, okay, I'm going to take this one because this one is going to go. It's going to come down here, and you put a stop here. It goes a little up, come down, take your stop again, and then do this. You said, okay, it come back here, I'm buying here. It goes through your stop again, go back up there. And when you're tired losing, it's going to do this. Right? When you're tired losing 4 or 5 trades, picking the tops or the bottoms, it's going to go in the direction you want it to go. Don't do that. Just wait. If you think it's going to go off the 6, here's why buying the 618 is even worse than buying the 12. It's a secret I'm going to give you because we do this in our trading room. I'm not supposed to tell you how risk to rewards work, but I'll give you an idea. If you're putting an entry order, follow these two things here. We'll go with long positions. If you're buying the 618 and your target, the target never changes, right? So we'll put the target at the 270. That never changes. What changes is where you put your stop. So if you're buying 618, officially you have to put your stop here because this is where that correction could end, right? The correction should not break the bottom. If it breaks the bottom, then you want to be out of the trade. You're wrong, right? So that's where your stop should be. So your risk to reward is 2 to 1. Here is what we do. We said, why do we do that? Let's wait for it to do this. Let it hit the 618, turn to the upside, make a flag, break this flag here. We will buy the break of the flag here, and we'll put a stop here. Our target is still the same. This would be my risk, and that is my reward. We're both getting the same reward. We didn't change where it's going to go. What we changed is where we enter and where our stop is. And why is this a more secure, a more guaranteed trade than this one? Because I don't know that this is the bottom. This thing could go and go and go and go. You lose 4 trades and then you get going in your direction, right? What I want to do is it has to tell me it's turning. But when it make that first impulse and it gives me my flag, it just told me, you know what? I'm ready to go up. And because it tells me I'm ready to go up, my trade has a higher probability than your trade buying the candle because the candle stopped there. I don't only have a higher probability trade, I have a higher risk to reward trade than you do. So patience is the key to success, guys. Don't jump in the thing. People who jump in wants to be winner. Have patience. You're trading. You're doing a business. Relax. You know when iPhone 6 comes out, everybody want to buy it the first day? Everybody wants it the first day, stand in line for 6 hours. If you wait 1 day or 2 days, you can go into the shop, walk in, and you'll be treated very nicely. And then you go and you pick up the same thing for even a cheaper price rather than stand up in a line 6 or the whole night just to buy it the next morning. That's crazy. Crazy people do things like that. Wait, have patience. You're going to get the same thing at a better price, right? You don't need to be the first person to have it. That's not the point of trading. Trading is what is your business profit, your business giving you, right? That's the whole point. Wait for it. It will turn. Sometimes we see that it's going to turn there. We simply don't jump into the trade. We wait. Okay, you're going to turn there. Tell us you're going to turn there. And when you do, we will join you, right? Because it doesn't turn exactly on the 618. The 618 is no magical point where it has to turn, right? Structure does not have to respect the fibs. That's not what it is. The fibs are not there that they will bounce. People say, oh, they'll bounce off my 618 fib. No, that's crazy. Nobody knows you have that 618 fib. The market does not know you have a fib there. The market will do what the market will do. The fib is just an indication to you that that's a percentage from where it is likely going to turn. It is likely going to turn. Fibs are not magical. Trends are not magical. People say, oh, well, it's bouncing off my moving average. No, it's not bouncing. Your moving average accidentally is the place where it's bouncing. That's all. It's not bouncing off your moving averages. It's not bouncing off your fibs. It just happens to be turning somewhere around the 68%. Right? So watch those cat trades. I've shown you a number of them that said, watch those cat trades. They're going to be big trades to come. Right? We'll have a lot of other trades coming in the other one, but the cats are going to be trending very soon. Right? So let's go. Let's look at the gold and silver and some more things, right? All the cat pairs. Silver. Watch it. No, nothing big, nothing new. We said, remember we told you guys, watch this thing. It's making a 5 wave. They will have to break the structure. And when they break the structure, we will see whether they go back up. Now, it is a buy setup. We post that buy setup for you guys. If you buy and you're in the buy, just keep it. Put it to break even and leave it. Don't worry. We don't know whether this is going to break because there's a high probability for one more down. Right? We looked at the number of other setups and we said there's a high probability this thing will go down some more. And the goal is the same thing. It would likely go down some more after this structure is over. So I got like, I don't know, I got like about 15, 20 people saying, please, 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 can you please give us your view on the goal? We want to know. People are buying, some are saying buy, some are saying sell. And what did it do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. All the hypes and non-farm payroll, I'm going to watch it to go up very much. It's going to come down very much. And nothing happened. See what I said? Nothing happened. If you were in a sell, you're back to square one. If you're in a buy, you're back to square one. If you're in the buy from here, which is where we said you should buy, that is from here, right? That buy setup. If you took that buy setup, all you need to do is move your stops into positive. You can put your stops here. You can put your stop here, and you can wait. Right? Because if it consolidates here, that's one more impulse up. Don't trade in the consolidation. Wait for it to finish and then trade. Because you will be in that thing in days, up and down, up and down. You'll just be playing with your nerves. You stay in here for 1 week and you will miss this trade. Your nerves will not, your nerves are going to be so weak you wouldn't be able to see this trade coming, right? So stay out of the consolidation. Let it do what it has to do. And when it's ready to make the impulse, like this one, you don't want to be inside this consolidation. You want to be in the breakout of it. You want to get the breakout because it moves away, pull back, moves away, pull back, moves away. That's what you want. You want to be, when it's starting to move, then is when you want to go, right? So watch it. This one on the bigger picture also. See, this is the downtrend. It's also telling us that there's a possibility for one more downside. So we will wait and see. If you're in the trade and they give a consolidation, buy it. If we get a 1 hour consolidation here, we would look for a buy setup. Short term, looks like it's coming down back here. Not the best trade in the world if they come back here because they'll do 1, 2, 3, and they'll go back up. See that? So just leave it alone. When it's ready to go, you will get the trade. Oil, how many of you were in the thing when I said oil is going to go down? Some people were going crazy, oil is going to go up. And now they're all going to go crazy that oil is going to go down and it's going to worth zero. No, it's just coming back to retest this low. Remember what I showed you in that Aussie CAD? 1, 2, 3, it will break the low and then it's going to go back up. When this starts to go up, what is going to go down? When this, watch for this move when this starts to go up. That is where the CAD is going to go get strong. And it's very close to finish. It's almost there. That is just a simple three-wave structure. And when it finishes, it will go. Probably you may get into this, or my traders are in this cell, and you may get into it if you get a pullback. If you get a flag here, watch for that flag. It's definitely going to happen, and then you may get this trade before it goes back up. So watch for this flag here, because you had a flag here. You had a flag here. You're likely going to get a flag here. See? It was going up. Everybody's going crazy. No, don't get crazy. It's going to do. If you look at the yearly chart we posted, I posted a chart, I think, about 2 years ago. Oil, a couple of years ago, I don't know. I can't remember exactly. Oil was at the top here coming down. They broke the structure. And I said, watch oil to come and retest this low here and then turn to the upside. See? Watch it to retest the low and then turn to the upside, because that is what it does every time. I don't have it in TradingView. I wasn't in TradingView then, but I think I have it on my Facebook page. Some of you should be able to see that on my Facebook page, right? Watch it to touch the low. It's like the Pong. Remember that Pong one to come down and then go back up? Watch this. It's making a consolidation here. So we will keep an eye on this consolidation here. We've got our impulse. We've watched this consolidation. It's a sell setup for now. Next week will probably still be sell. Next week, we'll probably see some flag here. And if you get a flag, look for this sell setup. And then we will watch for the turn to the upside. But long term is going to go up. There's a nice trade coming here in the sell. Right? So hopefully for you guys, you get that thing. No, no line on this chart is support. There is nothing like support and resistance in the market. Forget about that nonsense. The brokers want you to think there's support and resistance. Anybody else wants you to think so. There's nothing like support and resistance. We're looking at a chart that has datas in it. When you plot the datas in the chart, you probably can see patterns. But none of those patterns, none of those lines, none of the moving averages, none of anything you put on the chart is a form of support or resistance in the chart. It doesn't exist. Right? Don't think of it that way. If you think of a simple putting a horizontal line and that's a support, you're going to lose your account. That concept of support and resistance is flawed, is very, very flawed, right? Because there is no spot on this chart that there is a support or that there's a resistance. The price will move where it wants to go, right? It will not find any support and say, oh, here's the support, I need to stop. No, that's not what it's going to do, right? It's going to go where it has to go. It's going to behave the way it behaves. And when it does what it's doing, we look at it and said, is that something that repeats itself? And if it's that something that repeats itself, then we trade it. We look for patterns. While the price is behaving the way it's behaved, while the market behaves the way it's behaving, it creates patterns. Oh, by the way, yeah, thank you for reminding me. Let me show you. Remember I showed you guys that when it's going to go down? Isn't that an amazing sell? My traders got that trade way down to the bottom here. See that? Remember this sell setup? I said, watch it. I think it was this one I show you guys. Watch it for a sell here, way down to the bottom there. Nice one, right? I think that was last week we looked at this, right? One of my trader, Yulia, did this one. Brought up this chart. Oh, watch it. It's coming down. Anyway, this is a corrective structure. I think you can all see that. So there's actually a move back to the top. See that? You see these corrective structures? That's the impulse, the correction, the impulse, the correction, the impulse. We're in a correction. We could probably come down somewhere and look for another impulse up, right? Look for one more move up here. Somewhere along that line. And then there's a big move to the downside. See that? There's a big move coming to the downside. And it has nothing to do with any of those lines I put there. It has to do with what are the structures we're looking at, right? We already looked at USD CAD. 1 hour, USD CAD 1 hour, nothing interesting there. You're in a seller, you're in a buy. Somebody's stuck in a seller on a buy or what? What is it you're interested in the 1 hour in the USD CAD? Let's go take a look for you. Oh, we'll look at copper just now. Yeah. It's breaking there, but you don't want to be in the buy. Wait for the sell setup. All right, just wait for the sell setup on the 1 hour, 15-minute, whatever time frame you want. Don't ignore that buy. See, it's a wick already. Some hints and trading. I think that's what I've been doing all the time here. The euro yen is a setup for a sell. I told you guys, watch it. If it breaks out completely, you'll get a sell setup. I think today nothing much will happen. It's the end of the week already. But look for that. It may fall. Like last week we closed and then some of them went down very nicely. So watch it this week. We may get those moves as well. If you're looking for a move that could happen today, euro yen is one that is possible. If CAD reverses, you guys may not get it. It's possible you guys may not get it. Downside today, I think if you want a very short move that may happen today, I think you can take a sell on this one. It's a very short trade. You can sell this as a short trade. It's not a very big trade. So put a stop above the top so you know, if it breaks the top you don't want, but they can come down some more. We're looking for a pullback within it before we actually get in next week, right? Some more downside here and then the upside. Euro New Zealand, let's look at that. No, don't go with this. This one is a little messy. It is set up to go, but it's a little messy right now. It may allow this to come back above here. Allow this to make some more move here, and then take this straight down. Okay, wait for that. Wait for that some more. It's too early to get in that one. Aussie New Zealand. That's an interesting one. Let's go look at it. I was already in the buy in the Aussie New Zealand at this point. I was in this buy here, right? That one, and I got a break even because I didn't take profit there. I wasn't going to take profit anywhere. We were looking for it to break out, and then they got a deeper pullback. That has not changed the structure, right? Let me just show you. Structurally, that has changed nothing. This is still the impulse. It is just a deeper correction. So we're going to look for that trade to the upside. So let's see if we have any trades set up there. Thank you for asking, by the way. Let's see on this one. Oh, we may start to get a trade set up here, right? We've got one pullback here. You don't want to take it right now. You want to allow it to come back, make a little flag here, and then take the breakout, right? We need a little flag here, and then we'll take the breakout, right? So keep your eyes on this. This is a big trade, by the way. This one, we nothing has changed in this chart setup, right? Nothing has changed that we are not interested in. We are interested in it coming back to the top here. So if we get this trade, you will get the trade to the top here. When it comes here, put it to break even and watch, see if it goes. You can take some profit if you want to, but I will decide whether we take profit when it comes here. We'll see. But I think this may go. This could go now. We did the Pong already. You'll watch the video if you miss it. What else you guys want to look at? Let's take some questions. Let me see what else. Did I miss any question? If I missed any question, type it now. Not just to look at the chart, because we've looked at most of them already. Natural gas, I think somebody's asking for. It's just bouncing up and down in a big correction. Not very easy to trade, so I think you leave it. Copper. Yeah, copper we were looking at. Copper eventually changed the triangle we were looking for. We thought this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then they came here and they went back, and then we will look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one is coming here. They'll come to retest that top, definitely. So any pullback you get, we haven't had a really good pullback. They had a small one, but I don't like it. I would like to see a flag. Eventually, they'll make a flag, and then you'll get this trade. So if you wait patiently for that flag, you'll get this trade. That would be a good trade to the upside, and that would confirm your trade, by the way, and you'll have a better risk to reward, as I just showed you, right? So wait for that trade, and if they're going to come to retest this top, which is what I think they will do, because we're looking for this structure here. I think I posted this one out. Where was it? It has to be somewhere here in the 4 hour, probably. I'm pretty sure I posted this one out. Let me see if I can get it. I can daily maybe. Let me see. It should have been, oh, the update on this one is the update on this one that I posted. Let me just show you the update on that one, right? So first we were looking for the bigger triangle, this big triangle, but once it bounced off the bottom to the upside, we realized that the triangle has just changed, right? See? So we're looking for an A, a B, and we're looking for that C wave. Wait for that flag. You will get a flag before you get a trade, right? Okay, Europong. Let's go look at Europong for some very fast. We'll do Europong and then we'll take any more questions, you guys, and call it a day. Europong, downside, we were in the sell from the top there. I got out of the sell here when this place started to change structure. Remember, we changed the structure in this one here to the upside. And we saw the change of structure when this one happened, and then they started to make this flag here for upside. Now we're downside. Wait for this to pull back. Don't jump in too early. You need a bigger flag here, and then we'll go down. We're looking for a sell setup, that's for sure, right? So 1 hour, let's see. 1 hour, you'll probably get an up move first. You see this here? Probably get an up move to the upside here, and then you can get a downside. Complete that three wave. So short term, you may get a little trade to the upside, but then the big trade is to the downside. Bitcoin, if we keep doing this, we wouldn't end today, right? Okay, let's do Bitcoin as the last one, and then we're gonna thing, right? So let me do, because I haven't done Bitcoin for a very, very long time. Bitcoin is pulling back, and the big picture, Bitcoin is gonna go down. There's a big trade to the downside here to come to this level. If you look at it, which means it's gonna get weak. I know a lot of people are gonna go crazy, like, what is he talking about, Bitcoin going down? But it is gonna come down. You can see you have your first wave down here. You got your big move up. So watch for a consolidation here and look for sell setups, right? Wait for a consolidation here. They will make a consolidation here and then look for sell setups. Actually, I think I posted this. I had a chart on Bitcoin that I posted just a couple days ago, I think weekly maybe. Let me see. It's an update and an old chart, I think, that I posted. So I wouldn't find it. Let me see. It's an update and a very old chart. Because this structure is completed, right? Remember, we were showing this structure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a complete structure. This buy setup, I think from here, the structure was clear. We showed that structure there. See? You look at it and you can see it's pretty much clearly explained. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this one worked well, right? And now we're going to make some downside correction. So you're going to get big corrections to downside. You got one wave down. You're getting your second wave up. You'll probably get another wave down. This one could spend some more time and become more complex than here, but eventually you're going to go down. So take short-term trades to the downside. Oh, I missed all. I can't read and do at the same time, guys. So I probably missed a lot of the thing. I'm sorry if I missed your question, but there are so many questions that I'm looking at the chart, right? If you have an impulse and then a three-wave curve. Oh, let's don't go into that. That is a 6-week course. That's very difficult. It's not as simple as I do it, right? As I show you here. If I give you a blank chart, you're gonna go crazy because I know I'm teaching people. I know that it's not easy. We have very experienced traders, and we took 3 days trying to show them how you put trend line correct, and there were still questions, right? And these are guys with 5 years experience. You would think that everybody puts trend lines correct, right? And 3 days we were still beating it down to the root. Guys, this is the rules. And this, okay, and what if this happened and what if that happened? So it's not easy. Trend lines, 3 days, 3 sessions. You can imagine that, right? So it's not that easy as it looks, right? So you look at my charts and they look good, but that's because you're looking at, it's this story. I was a medical student, for those who don't know, right? I actually, when the Soviet Union collapsed, I was 4.5 years medical student, and that was the end of my career as a medical student. But we were in this theater, and this surgeon walked in. As a student, I was in there just to look, and the surgeon walked in. They were doing a brain surgery, so there were the doctors who were preparing the patient, and then the surgeon walked in who's doing the operation. He did the operation, walked out back. That was like an hour, and then he left, and the rest of the surgeon were doing the rest of the work, finishing off doing the stitching and all of that. And I asked my teacher, wow, that guy is amazing. It took him an hour to do that. You know, that was like really, he just walked in, did it, and walked back. That's like super, right? And an operation like that in the West, that was Soviet days, so you did it was free. But in the West would cost a lot of money. So I'm thinking, wow, if I become a brain surgeon, I'll probably get rich, right? And he said, don't worry. To do that 1 hour, you have to have about 10 plus years experience practicing as a brain surgeon to do it. So you don't become a brain surgeon overnight, right? You don't get rich overnight. You don't suddenly wake up and go in and they allow you to do the operation, right? So you have to. You can do these. It's possible. It's easy to read. You can look at the charts. You can see the structures. You can literally open a chart and see the structures. Like any professional does their work, right? They look at what they're doing and they understand what they're doing, right? And it looks easy to people, like, oh, I could actually do that. What is that guy doing? He's just doing a small thing. But no, you can't. It's not that easy. You need to train yourself to do it, and that's what we do. We train people to do it. And the good thing is you can do it because it's all rule based. So when we train you, we give you the rules, and that means we still keep you here for the rest of your life and keep training you so that you don't forget how to do it. And when there is a complicated part in it, we stick there with you. We're there with you. The entire group is there, and I'm there daily to make sure you're doing it the right way. Right? It's not, it's not that easy. Like you can go and buy 5 videos and then you're suddenly a wave trader, or you can put, a wave next to your name on TradingView and you're suddenly a super wave trader or an expert in wave trader, or you're the magical wave trader, whatever you want to call yourself. That's not the aim. That doesn't make you a professional. You have to be trained to do this thing, right? It's not about buying a couple of videos. It's about being trained, right? You have to be doing the practical part over and over and over and over, day and night, until you really get it. And when you get it, it becomes your second nature. You can do it pretty fast, right? So I can't do it in one webinar with you here. It's not possible. Most common mistake that a trader makes which prevent him from consistent profit: trading something he has no idea what he's doing. That's the most common mistake. You know why 90% traders actually lose? They have no idea what they're doing. That's the most common mistake. You're trading, you're doing something that you have very little idea of, right? Some people think that all you need to do is learn a strategy and you can trade. You can learn, if you can learn to draw a butterfly in a chart using that thing, you can trade, because you're going to start to see butterflies all over the place. And then you lose your account and you wonder what happens to those butterflies. Well, you have no idea what you're doing. That's the whole point. The first thing you have to do is to learn to read the charts, understand how structure behaves, understand what the chart is doing. You have to have that knowledge, guy. It's knowledge. It's called knowledge. And if you don't have it, everything else is a waste of time. It's not about the strategy. Remember, the strategy comes second. The first thing you need to do is to be able to understand, have the analysis, do the analysis correct, and prove that your analysis is correct over and over. When you prove that part, that, okay, I can read the structure, I understand what it's doing, my analysis is correct, how do I trade it? That's where your strategy comes in. Your strategy comes in is, how would I get that move when I see it? That's what strategy is. Strategy is about getting the move, right? You don't just learn a strategy without understanding what you're doing and then suddenly you think you're going to be a winner. You will not be a winner, right? Money management and all of those are very basic stuff. You see a lot of trade charts on TradingView with these and with this and with this and it, and they're saying, I'm teaching you patterns. This is all crap, because you have to see it on the chart. All of that is free all over the internet. That is for traders to get likes. You can look at that for the rest of your life and you will learn nothing. I will give you a chart and tell me. I will do a chart for you and I'll take everything out and I'll give you, I said, do it back. And then you will see the difference. Then you will know that not simply because you see a triangle, you know it's a triangle, right? Not because, let's take the copper, for example, right? It's a perfect one. You take everything out from this chart and try to do it by yourself. Traders put these two lines, hindsight, after the fact, and they said, oh, that was a good one. Hindsight, everybody sees everything, believe me. Everybody is a perfect trader, hindsight. Remember, all my charts are forecasting. And that is what you need to do if you want to be successful. You have to learn to forecast the charts. You have to know what it's going to do before it does that. Not after it does it. After it does it, it's useless to you. Oh, yeah, well, it went up because of the news of, I see why the Pong actually went up. The Pong went up. Somebody told me, oh, the Pong went up because of the court case they have in London. I said, well, I have no idea there was a court case. I mean, seriously, I had no idea until the guy told me that is why it went up. And I was like, oh, well, I saw it going up way back before that court case. My chart was posted about a week before the court case. So who knows what is going to, they didn't call me and said, hey, this is going to be the results of the court case, so Pong will go up. Right? They don't do that. And after the fact, if I'm trading news and after the fact, oh, well, this went up because of the court case, so what do? It's gone. I'm not in the trade. You see? That's gone. You can't trade that. That's after the fact. If you knew the results of the court case before it happened, well, maybe you can trade news, but you don't get the news before, you get the news after, right? So let's see, what else you look at? I'm reading, yes, everybody should read that book. If you want to be a trader, read that book. That book is like the basics. With my trading psychology, not a problem, but I test my skills. I stretch my limits very often. I'm actually training to do that. I think I explained it in one webinar, and one guy went crazy. He didn't understand what I was explaining. I break the rules of money management because on the account that I'm trading, I want to actually, which book? The book is the Elliott Wave Principles. It's free if you go on elliottwave.com. It's free. If you actually want to buy it hardcover, you can go and get it. If you want to get a PDF, I'm not sure whether elliottwave.com allow you to get that PDF for free. I don't know. You'll have to check around in the internet. But it's somebody just posted for you guys. It's free, actually. So, what was the question I was answering? Somebody asked me a question and the book distracted me. Oh, the book you can read. The book only gives you the theory. Remember, the theory by itself doesn't mean anything. You can read a book and understand it. That doesn't make you the trader. You need to actually practically see the structures in the chart, right? You need to see the structure in the charts, and that's when you learn, right? Practice to see it for yourself. Oh, well, the orders and execution. I like this question. Somebody said forecasting goes right, but order and execution. That's because you don't have a good strategy. That's the problem. The problem is not that you, and I never give anybody my strategy except to my students, right? And the strategies we used, we don't give it away. Come on, you've got to leave something for the trading room and the people who paid to get that thing. I can't give you everything, right? So that is because you don't understand structure and you don't understand when and where you should enter and why you should enter, right? So should you be in the trade? That's the whole point. We understand what we do, so we are actually getting most of the trades. My traders are doing good, a lot of them. A lot of them are still pretty much at that early stage too, but they will get there as long as they're with us, right? You have the same idea with harmonic as fibs. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Nothing is golden. Those are just tools. If you're talking about in terms of the patterns, harmonic patterns, or what you're talking about, those are just tools. Tools you learn to use. That's not telling you anything. Tools is not analysis, right? Okay, so much questions. I'll skip us. I'll probably miss some. Do you teach course personal process education recording? All our classes are live. Everything we do in our trading room in terms of the course is live. It's all recorded as well, but that's for you to watch after the fact. But it's live. Everything is done live. You don't like fibs? No, it's not that I don't like fibs. Come on, don't misinterpret me. I never said I didn't like them. I said none of them. Nothing in the chart is a magic, right? Don't expect that 618 fib is a magical fib. Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you don't use it. I'm saying it's not magical. Don't treat anything you put, don't treat the trend lines you put in the chart as a magical tool. It's just a tool. That's it. Do you believe the U.S. I don't care if the U.S. interest rate is going to go up. What? That's not going to help me in my trading. If it goes up and the chart starts to move in the direction we expect it to go, we'll be in the trades. Don't spend your time guessing what will happen. You're wasting your time there. Do you think it's a good level for a short in the EuroCAD? No. Not a good level to short us yet. I think we just spoke about that. It's too early. So, okay, guys, I think I've kept you pretty long for a whole hour. Thank you for your patience and for coming. Some people lost their patience and left already. So I would see all of you next week, and I'll see my traders on Monday. So take care. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see all of you next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.